I was going to ask Magali how you started Caribbean Craft.
Okay, I have to thank Walker for that great introduction. Caribbean Craft started in 2006. I was following the path of my husband, who came back to Haiti in 1991 to address the unemployment issue. When I joined when I brought back this company, they were about to close, and I told them, let me give this company one more chance, because we've trained some painters and we have great artisans, and I think it's time for us to reposition ourselves, to step into the U.S. market and to show the world what we can deliver. And that's how Caribbean Craft in 2006 started attending the major U.S. shows. What Walker said, Caribbean Craft has a facility where we have our own production units done, but we also serve as a very important window for the artisans around the country. For example, I have a very long-term relationship working with Croix des Bouquets, where I try my best to push the items and expose them to the U.S. buyers. I also have a strong relationship with the artisans of Léogane, who do all of the stone carving works. Caribbean Craft also works with La Vallée, where we try to promote basketry. So as a business, we have tried our best to expose the whole craft sector to the US and the European market in order to increase the sales. Because what is important to know about Haiti, the lines of items that we produce handmade it's a wide range. Covers stone, basket, textile, paper mache, metal, unpainted, painted. It's really beadsworks. It's only to name a few what the artisans make. We're not even talking about the artists. And it's well known around the world. So we're talking about products that could easily enter the market. The only problem that we had to face was to know what we needed to put on these shelves. We have a great tradition of handicraft, but these items needed some freshen up. That's what Caribbean Craft, when we stepped out, we finally identified, and we took these same items, gave this the touch that they were looking for, and brought them back. And Walker mentioned that we have some great accounts in the United States. We're proud to say that we work with Anthropology. I have to say the US buyers were really skeptical, thinking that they can deliver. Are they going to be serious? Will they be shipping out of Haiti? We had to overcome a lot of constraints for them to accept the items made in Haiti by letting them know that we will deliver and we will dispatch from a US facility. These are all the problems that Caribbean Craft had to overcome to be now today representing we represent over 6,000 different items here in the United States, starting from the small keychains to the big vases, tobacco leaf vase. So that is to present briefly what we do and what we want to continue to do for the artisans of Haiti.
Thank you, Magali. The artisans that you work with, I mean, we tend to think of people working in factories and producing large volumes. But the normal artisan working in Haiti, describe the people that you work with and their working structure and what you do to try to turn a very fragmented production base into an order that can be delivered to an American retailer.
Okay, I will just illustrate that with one small town that I really like a lot. I like all them all, but I really cherish them. From the southeast of Haiti, there's a little town up the mountain called La Vallée Jacmel. And in this little isolated town, they make wonderful basket work. I met with a US buyer, Vagabond Vintage, who wanted to start doing business with that specific town, and the quantities that he was looking for were way beyond what they could produce in the normal limits. So what we did, we went to La Vallée, we studied with the designer the specific basket that they wanted to order in large quantities, and we decided to just identify the constraint that will keep them from fulfilling this order. We found out one thing. First of all, they were trying to reproduce that same piece just using their eyes, and we said if we give them a framework, they will reproduce this basket using a frame. That will avoid lots of waste and lots of time. So we try to identify the constraints that the artisan have and try to overcome them for them using our techniques and using our by analyzing them. One other issue that they usually run into, a big one, is the financing. Once an artisan receives an order worth $30,000, in order for them to complete that order, they need to have the money to buy the raw material and to pay for the job to be done, because it's not going to be made by one, it's going to be made by a teamwork, and they need to continue living. So Caribbean Craft has taken over the financing of this production. When we prepay half of the order, and as they deliver, we continue paying the rest. So this is how we give them the chance and opportunity to fulfill the orders that they would not be able to take on their own.
Great. Michelle, as in most of Haiti, so much of your craftsmanship comes in working with the materials that you have at hand, whether they're people working in stone, in layagon, or basketry with the natural reeds that are available to them. In the case of Croix de Bouquet and the metal crafters there, your raw materials began, and I guess still are, steel oil drums. Can you tell a little bit about your process for taking a metal oil drum and turning it into one of these wonderful sculptures that we see hanging on the wall?
Alors, il veut savoir si tu peux décrire le processus quand tu commences avec les drômes en métal et ensuite pour finir avec une pièce comme les pièces qui sont dehors sur le mur.
Bon, pour faire commencer le processus là, et premièrement, on prend dominantier, on prend un ouvert dominant, on tire en l'air, il y a en l'air, il y a en bas, et puis on fend ce côté là.
Okay, un moment.
Après ça, on brûle.
Okay, so he says the first thing is, so I guess you guys all know that the metal oil drums are just large cylinders, and he says the first thing is that you take off the top and then you take off the bottom and you slick down the side, and then you have to flatten it out and burn it.
Okay, après ça, on fait dessin. Après ça, on prend la craie et on imagine le dessin qu'on va faire. Parce que le dessin, généralement, c'est imaginer pour dessin. Parce que bon, dessin, on dégaine déjà là. On imagine le dessin et puis on va belle dehors comme ça.
So then the next step is that you take a piece of chalk and wherever your imagination takes you, that's what you start to draw on the flattened sheet of metal. It's not necessarily a pattern that you had prepared or that you had used before. It's whatever you're thinking and whatever comes to you.
Après ça, on prend marteau avec birin pour détailler le dessin.
And then afterwards you take a little hammer with a pick and you basically start to carve out the picture that you already drew in chalk.
Après ça, on bombe, on sorti dessin. Après ça, on sable et pour ouvrir everything.
And then the last steps are that I just lost the first part of your sentence. I'm sorry, you emboss the design. So all the little details that you guys see, like the hair and the jewelry, those are embossed, and then you have to sand it down just to smooth out the metal, and then you put a layer of varnish over it.
Okay, attendez.
Oh, he says, and then that's the end. Oh, so this is a picture of Michelle at the first and second steps.
Il y a deux façons.
So,
ça c'est côté premièrement, c'est ça on fait en bas.
Okay. So this is him actually drawing the chalk onto a flattened piece of metal. Et ce côté?
Ça c'est côté on détailler dessin.
Okay, and this is also the same thing. You can see the small hammer and the pick where he's starting to carve out the painting. I don't know if you want me to hand it around.
Yeah.
Je peux faire ça?
That would be fine.
Oh, thanks.
And in the community of Croix de Bouquet, how many artisans are doing your craft?
À quoi des bouquets il y a à propos? Combien d'artistes?
Combien d'artistes au minimum, gars, considéré. Le cas est plus, mais au minimum, considéré de 200.
So minimum, there's probably about 200.
And there are master artisans like Miché and Serge Jalamo, and they have apprentices working with them in their workshops, learning their craft, just like he learned from his uncle.
Alors il a dit qu'il y a des artistes comme toi et comme Serge qui sont au niveau plus haut et vous avez vos ateliers, vos élèves.
Il y a des artistes qui, même avec Serge, comme ça, qui fait cap venir tout.
So he says that you are right. There are artists like him and Serge who are at a higher level, and then there are others that are a lot newer to the craft.
And in Quadabouquet, there's an area where there are a series of workshops, one after another. And I'm interested in knowing how you sell. And if you're not working with Magali, how do you sell your sculpture? Who are your customers?
Alors, à quoi des bouquets, comme vous êtes l'un après l'autre, des ateliers différents, si vous ne travaillez pas avec Magali, qu'est-ce que vous faisiez pour vendre les pièces différentes qui viennent des ateliers différents?
Pour moi qui viens apprendre?
Non, pour les gens qui veulent acheter.
Oui, acheter.
Il y a ton atelier, il y a celui de Serge, il y a celui de Jacques. Si vous êtes tous ensemble et vous n'êtes pas en train de travailler avec Magali, qu'est-ce que vous faisiez pour vendre?
Bon, nous, même si nous tous ensemble, mais chaque monde a une façon de travailler. Et ça, c'est chaque monde qui a un client. Nous tous vendons.
Okay, so he says that everyone is able to sell something, even though they are close together and they work as a community. Each person has kind of their own group of clients and their own way of working so that they can sell their pieces.